took a bit to get this thing started. See if the sound's working. All right, I think it is. This is Dennis Waterman with you. The theme tune to New Tricks. About a bunch of police detectives who have retired and are brought back to get back to work and help with some cold cases. It's a pretty good series, especially the first 2 or 3 seasons. Let me turn that. Sound issue here. Okay. There we go. I was actually going to start this earlier, but things happen, by golly. And we'll see if anyone comes around the bend here. But I need this to get right about there. Okay, what I have here, I picked this up earlier this week. This is The Honeymooners comic book. This is from I think the 92 or 93. And Jack Davis had done some work for The Honeymooners, had come out in a VHS. There was no DVD yet. They come out in a VHS set, specialty set. And they also had done some books involving the Honeymooners. It all came out in the early 90s. And this comic book came out at the same time. This is actually basically, it's sort of kind of wraparound, because on the back side is more of Jack Davis's. Yes, $3. To me, I've been wanting to get this. This is here, typical Jack Davis. When he did faces, they're typically done separately and then pasted in, because it's hard to get likenesses. And then also when you're doing likenesses for a client, if you don't do it right, you got to do it over again. So it's often these things are just pasted in. It makes it a lot easier. It's likely why there's a white border there. Also why he has a big shadow here and not shadow otherwise. But however, that looks like it was probably on the original boards. I don't know if these may have been pasted in. I'm not sure. This looks like it was probably pasted in. Obviously, a lot more work done here than on the rest. Something that was helpful with this is that at the time this came out, I believe all 3 of these were alive and Gleason was dead. So they may have had to do some approvals, which may be why this was redone. But I don't know. Because I do believe that was redone. But anyway, this is the only work of Davis is on the cover of this book. Because I've seen it before. I saw it when it came out, and I just didn't purchase it for some reason. At least if I did, I'd not seen it. All right, I just thought I'd share that. Okay, so what to do here? Oh, there's Andrea. You want to put up a word, something that's on your mind, something you see around you right now. And I just picked up I contacted a couple friends of mine. I got them in these little containers I can't open. Pop Smart, a place I like to get supplies, and I'm fortunate to have one near me. They aren't nearby. Had what they call their pen bar 50% off, and that ended today. They're already closed. But what was nice was it was 50% off the pens and then 20% overall. So the pens were 50% off, and anything you got in the store was 20% off. So this was a cheap pen, and I do like these. So I'm doing that. Okay, so what we have. What do you? Is there something you see around you, an item, or you're saying you see the sky? Well, something maybe something, a thing, a person, place, or thing. The old journalism is what I did at the class I taught last Tuesday, and I'll be doing it at the class I'm teaching this Tuesday. A person, place, or thing, and from that you can create anything. It's amazing. But I'll also go and see if I can find 2 other items, at least off of Facebook. Let me see what posts are here. All right. Well, that won't work. Let's see. My friend Tiffany Sokolowski has something about a vinyl utility slider. I guess that's on a door slider. I'm not sure that I don't know what to do. There's Rhonda Vincent. That's Milt Priggy is doing some cartoons about. Let's see. I'm looking for a person, place, or thing. All right. Bridget Smith is in Ghana right now. I wish she's a nurse here in Florida. Here's Circus World. Okay, maybe that's something. Let's see. Did Andrea type something? We go back here. A tree. So we got tree, Circus World, and let me see if there's something with a critter or something. Oh, there's Usler, John Land. That's Christine Moore posting about Norman Usler. Uslers are old Central Florida family, and I forgot his name. I had a friend named Usler. He was part of the family. I'm sorry. Also, one of the matriarchs of the family was a friend. I still can't think of her name. Anyway, I'm looking for something. A tree in a circus, and oh, here we go. A hummingbird. Vanessa Long over in Georgia as a hummingbird. Let me see what I can do with that, with a tree. Hummingbirds are rather are not uncommon in Florida, but it's not all that easy to find them. As I travel visiting people's houses, I see a lot of folks setting up for hummingbirds, but they go back to that circus. What else does he have there? Hold on, just here. I don't have that either. Hold on, so I don't forget where these came from. Go back up here, Vanessa. But the Thomas family, oh, there, it's gone. It's gone already. That circus thing's gone. Well, Andrea knows Angie Thomas and Kevin and Aubrey. Their mother's birthday would have been today. I don't know how old she would have been. Oh, shoot. Okay, so I'll just make up something about circuses. I was going to try to do, and that was posted by my friend Dan Stapleton. Dan Stapleton at one time was the ringmaster of Circus World. And yes, I could gather these ahead of doing this, but I like to work off the cuff. And I do that because I'm trying to keep my hand in working off the cuff. I remember when I worked at Circus World, I'd see these ladies with this really thick makeup. I thought, why do they have such thick makeup? It's because they're out in the ring and we're out in the audience, and or you're out in the audience. You're trying to see them, and if they wore light makeup, you wouldn't be able to tell what they are, what they're doing. I'll be in Sanford on Tuesday teaching some teenagers, apparently, how to do comic books, specifically how to create a character and a story that goes with it. Of course, hummingbirds tend to furiously flap their wings. Oh, rabbit. Oh, thank you. Well, I want to get, so yeah, I may hold the tree off here for a bit and use it in the next one. I think of, Dan Stapleton met his wife at Circus World. She was one of the ladies who would be all dressed up on the horse, riding on the back. Not riding the horse, standing on the horse while the horse is running around. Dressed up kind of like I'm doing here. And they are still married here. I think they're getting close to their 50th, I guess. Maybe they've had their 50th, I'm not sure. Because he was the ringmaster before I started working there in '79, and he'd already been the ringmaster. Gosh, how am I going to do this? But I'm trying to, let's see what I come up with here. Whoop. You know, I should do this with those young people on Tuesday to show how the brain can work if you work it. Hello, Elaine Cornelius. You see the movement. Well, I hope to get with you all, I was saying to Andrea, right after the class, but somewhere probably around Sanford, because then I may try to go meet up with Andrea up in, I have something I think I'm going to be probably dropping off to her in Deltona. And then it's, last week I actually drove up. I didn't know I was going to be doing that. I'm not going to go to the bookstore this week. And I don't know if Tabitha got a chance to go pick up some pens at Pop Smart or whatever. Okay, so let's see. What could he be? Very small. So beetle. Good. Oh, is that Melissa Busby? Hello, Melissa. How are you? I just don't know where we could meet around the History Museum. That's what I don't know. And we could do it another time. I'm going to have to make another trip into the area about a week later. First, to admit, I took advantage of some Amazon Prime stuff. But what's around that museum to meet? Or should we just put it off to the next week? Maybe I am trying to do too much. We'll do something with his antenna, or her antenna, or his antenna, whoever's antenna. Okay, we give me Culver's. That's where I used to. It's someone who hasn't joined us in a while. I need to get a hold of Dennis over in Palm Bay, because I went and one thing I got from the Amazon Prime thing, I got a bunch of bags, some sleeves for all these. I can't say all these. I have so few of these. How am I having trouble thinking of it? You know, the fairies and all. I got a bunch of 5x7s to put these in, and some 8x10s for dragons. You know, all the time I was at Circus World, I never went to see the circus there. No, not once. So I never saw Dan in action. All the guys and gals did. I didn't. We were also had a pretty hectic schedule, because we got there and we had to draw characters nonstop. If we had time off, we only had that. Well, best thing I remember about Circus World was sandwiches. Their sandwiches were outstanding. And I've never, just this past week here, I stopped at Wawa because I was picking something else up. and I tried to get a sandwich that was like, I always try to find a sandwich that was like what I used to get. It used to be over by the big wooden roller coaster, which was the largest wooden roller coaster in the world. No, I never rode it. No interest in that. But that's those sandwiches. I walked all the way across just to go get one because they're so good. I just didn't have much money. Because at the time, those sandwiches anywhere else were going for like, I think probably $1.50 or $3. They're like 7 or something. Really expensive. We weren't being paid that much, for heaven's sakes. I was a poor little high school kid. Actually, Melissa, this looks more like a baseball field than it does. Oh, there'd be some music too. But Dan does a great job keeping the memories of not just Circus World, but magic in general, because he's also a magician, which he still performs at events. Yes, Andrew, if you ever need to find a magician, if he's willing, Dan is that. Dan lives over near Kissimmee. Okay, we can go to Culver's. Oh, I know there's a Culver's. I stopped there. I stopped there before I came and taught the class. I need to use the restroom, so I bust into the place. I'm using your restroom. Everybody, get out of the way. Back away. All right, so there is a hummingbird sang in Barclay Square, whichever square. By the way, a great miniseries, British miniseries, was a great series of books called Barclay Square. It's really good. Anyway, there you go. How about that? All right, so I got tree, and we're talking about what else we got? Okay, Melissa, write, if you would please. Look how polite. Look, my southern is showing up. Would you write an animal, please? Some animal, any animal. I wish I had time to get back to the storage. Yeah, maybe we should all meet the week after. Maybe we should meet the week after. So try or it's just the 4 or 5 o'clock traffic. Ugh. And I'm trying to get back to Ocala, and I really don't want. I just rather. That's what I did. I went to the book thing, your bookseller over in Oviedo, and I just waited till 6 o'clock till I left there because I just don't want to deal with the traffic. Well, I wanted Melissa to. I got something I was going to work from for what you wrote. Well, one thing I'm going to have to do is get my driver's license now that I seem to finally have a car. Yes, Melissa. An animal like a hedgehog. Yeah, sure. Yeah. Well, yeah, the hedgehog does work better than. Well, I want to look it up. This is something I was teaching the kiddies. Was the importance of research. Oh, I drew a giant tree though. I mean, I drew a tree, a regular tree. The hedgehog doesn't. Back to the. So okay, crane it is. Yeah, when over in Palm Bay, Dennis and or his mother and I would all meet over at the Culver's because it's the only thing nearby that we can get to. That's how I got to learn more about them. But I can do something with hedgehog next. Oops, where am I going here? Lost y'all. And what do you like at Culver's, Elaine? Oh, is that what you meant? You like their hedgehog burgers? Mm. Gotta have them hedgehog burgers. I think I'm gonna give this guy overalls because let's face it, we all should be wearing overalls. Bloom, Nadia Bloom is working on a extension of her graphic novel she's planning on having on Tuesday. So there's a Culver's hamburger and crunch, crunch, crunch. And yes, the burgers over at the All American Burger is I think it's the better of their burgers at Coney Island. Maybe he's got a lunchbox. Well, Melissa, much like every other store that exists on the planet, it's nowhere near you. I don't even know where that may be. You're near. No, there's a Culver's, I think, in Altamont Springs. It's so sad. Melissa, there's no Aldi around her. There's no Culver's. There's what's all the different stores. If it came out recently, it doesn't. It's inaccessible to College Park. That's all. All Melissa has are pizza joints, right? All these pizza places and bars. Smoky Bear is 80. Yeah, they should start making bear burgers. I agree. It's about time. It's 2025. I want my bear cub burger, medium rare. Those are the kind of fires I like. It's when you cook them. I'm evil. Yeah, well, Culver's is based from New England, and their approach to things are all very New Englandish. So what you might typically find up in those areas, you find at Culver's. One reason I actually would rather not give them business. Yeah, yeah. If we didn't meet this week though, if we met next week, it would mean you all needing to. Because I was trying to figure someplace. I didn't know that Bloom lived way down. I'm sorry, I keep calling her Bloom. Nadia, as she calls herself, uh, is way down South Orange County, out by. So she knows Pop Smart, Pop Shelf, whatever it's called, because there's one in the misspelled Millennia area. Another thing I'm ashamed I worked on. See, the city did nothing to try to correct it. Not nothing. Uh, I know I was part of trying to tell them it's misspelled. I know I think one of the people in code was trying to, or permitting was trying to tell them it was misspelled, but they'd already started making signs and tough luck, it's just misspelled. Anyway, she's somewhere around there. Of course, you all are in Altamont Springs. Maybe we should try to meet after. We'll figure it out. And if Andrea's still here, who's this? The roaster. Now there you go. Roast a bear. Now we're talking. All my favorite places I miss is Kenny Rogers Roasters. I love that place. The chicken was so good, and the green beans. Ooh. And there were none of those in Orange County. I found out about them because it was coming up to all the court cases in Ocala back in the '90s, and there was one here. So I went to that one in Tampa, and then they all shut down. Most became medical facilities. Oddly enough, quick. Those 24/7 places. Get you in, get you out, get your money. You're no better, but they did that at least. I was talking to my stepdaughter Amber about all that mess while I was up there. Okay, so what am I going to do with this guy? No, what? Did all the Italian places close in the past week? I already have something waiting for me over at the P.O. box over there. I need to go. How? I don't want to. I have something more coming Thursday. Wouldn't mind showing Tabitha and Bloom. Oh, here, I'm just going to get big old. Because it's reproduction of comic book work. And what's this other stuff? Sushi imposters. Imposters. Well, no, we don't want imposter bears. We want real bears that we can roast. What's this stuff about? You roast a bear. Yeah, artificial ingredient bears are not to my liking. I'm so insulted by all this. You roast the right bear or don't. Oh, and that AI-HI thing worked out well at the class. I'll be doing that again Tuesday. I agree. Anyone who knows that, yeah, that's my big problem with math is that we assume we know what numbers mean, but we really don't know. It's whatever you want them to be. This was a problem I had in school. Those teachers at Edgewater High School, they were just dumb about math. 1 + 1 equals. If I put 1,567, who they think they are? They think they know what the symbolism of what we call 1 is. Then I'd have to argue, and then there'd be all kinds of problems. I'm going to make it. Oh, so I'm just giving. So how's that look? Speaking about schools, the schools only had this as a way for young people to have their lunch. I think they'd be much healthier, by golly. By gum. Oh, what happened was when you first sent me that message, I went looking for the drawings, and I could not find them. Then you sent me another message. I was with Jeff, I think we just got back, and I was pulling out some of these fairy drawing things because he hadn't seen them, and I still couldn't find them. And finally today, I found them. I pulled them out from the pad. I don't remember doing that, but I guess I did, and I found them. So I just about an hour or so ago, I found them. So there is a crane eating a Culver's burger under a tree. Now I better make note of where I got all that from. So the tree was Andrea, and Elaine tree. No, Elaine was Culver's, and then Melissa had a crane. Oh, I was going to do a drawing with a hedgehog. You like the wood? Oh, the fairies. Yeah. Well, listen, I'm not hoping. I'm shocked that I only have 3 really done. I thought I'd be knocking these out, but I am not knocking these out. I've just got these 3, and a 4th I gave a friend, and that's all I got. And I've got pencils, but nothing finished. Oh, I did do these dragons last week, and a ladybug, and a kitty, and a bunny. But anyway, I was going to do the hedgehog. Sorry, I'm drawing hedgehogs. Where am I? What's going on? What's happening over here? Like fairies. And please click the thumbs up if you get a chance. I appreciate it. I don't need it on Facebook. I need it here, and I need to get some things on my. So I'm getting into this work thing where I'm just, like this. I did the class. So I figured out what happened Monday, I believe, why I kind of collapsed while I was there. Well, I guess Elaine, you left before that happened. Tabitha was there and Bloom was there. Uh, I overworked Monday, and it just really threw me off. So I didn't get enough sleep, I guess, Tuesday. So when I came to do the class, about an hour in, I was not in good shape. So I'm just going to work a few hours tomorrow. Maybe 3 or 4. My problem is once I start, I don't want to stop. That's the problem. So I'm going to try to start a bit late. So I have to stop or something. I'll figure it out. Now, hold it. I'm going to lose this if I'm not careful. I just realized I got a little. I saw my Uncle Charles yesterday, who's sporting 90 years old. I swear he's in better shape than I'm in. Okay, see if I can pull this off. It's going to look weird. After this, I'll do a fairy. Or should I do a fairy or a dragon? Let's do it this way. That makes it funner for me. Maybe we should all get together and just do a draw, just draw for a while. Well, not, but Tabitha and Bloom just sit somewhere and draw for a while. It's just so hard to get me to draw. God. I've got to do things like this to get me to draw something or go somewhere else. As I talked to Bloom this past week, and I'm going to really want to have more of my comic book together. Actually, I've started doing some layout stuff for it on the computer-wise. Now, why a hedgehog has butterfly wings is beyond me. See, I have trouble doing this. I have trouble doing fantasy. This is just ridiculous. Goes against everything I know and believe. It does. What? Yeah, I wasn't feeling good. I don't know what. I think it was because I worked too much on Monday. I did 7 hours. I like to try to get as many hours in getting to the 20, and so I overdid it on Monday, and I didn't really think about that. Then I just started getting dizzy inside the class, and my legs started to give out. That's what really surprised me. And a bit of pain. Wait, what was? I did pull up a picture of a hedgehog. What the heck do their feet look like? I don't know. Me not studying. We don't have hedgehogs in Florida is one reason. I'm not familiar with them. So what do you think, a fairy or a dragon? What should I do tonight? I also should probably plug in a fan because my problem is I tend to overheat because my body's going so quick. See, I'm used to doing, a gig 2 or 3 hours, but I'm getting older and having trouble with it. And when I got to these days, I tend to do just an hour, a talk or even Happy Animals. And I just kind of, after an hour, I pooped out. Well, first of all, I thought they were going to be, I was told they were going to be very young children. So I was thinking they're going to be 5 or 6, 7 tops, not pre-teens. So I actually completely changed what I was going to be doing while I was on, so that was a nice little challenge, but it may have been too much for me. Just going to make sure I don't work so much tomorrow and I don't get enough rest. I'm going to make sure I get enough rest. I just wish the drive wasn't so far. Gosh. Well, since they typically are, I'm going to put mountains here because you're not going to find them in Florida. I think this is the easy way. There we go. Hedgehogs take flight. Oh, I haven't put a date on here yet. 7, this is 13 days. I was going to do a bank robber. I'm going to do like an Al Capone dragon. About time. Now, the dragons I'm doing on a larger board. I have one. Thought. One of the other things I've been doing is trying to get better organized. Oh, here are the bags. Yeah, here are the sleeves I got, 5x7. So that's for these. Now I can't recall whether this was waterproof or not. That's what I don't recall. Well, let's find out the quick way. Give it a second. I do like these, but I don't think they're waterproof. I've got to turn the other ones. Oh, they are. Look at that. Ooh. 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 Okay. I do need to do a pencil here. Keep myself in my... And the thing is, I've got to be able to start doing these a lot faster, caricature-wise. Wow, that's not a good pencil. Turn that way. Oh, I need to get back to a friend of mine wanted to actually buy the last one. What is that? I have it here. Throw that dragon. The one I finished. I don't know where it is. Anyway, that dragon, wherever it is, wanted to buy it, but I want to let her know there are more coming, and she may want to wait till she sees what else I do. I can see her liking this one better, just how little I've done of it so far. Okay. And I have decided, oh, hold it. I'm going to do I know what I need. Hold it. I just thought something I don't have right here. Think about it for a second. Just a minute to focus. Because I do want to ink them, but not ink them real hard. Kind of ink them lightly, and I'm going to go over it with a... Because I was finding it's taking me longer. I didn't have a line to follow, and I need to have that apparently. I also don't want all my dragons to look alike. So this is a friendly dragon. I'm off the edge of the screen. Whoops. Oh, here, let me just move this in then. Never think about that. There we go. That's it. I'm making this a friendly dragon. I was going to put, a number of members from the cast from the Mod Squad. I was going to put in his mouth, chewing on him, just for fun. But this is a friendly dragon. Sells Mary Kay. As only the good dragons do. Who's I talking to? Somebody who, my friend Judy Delk, had a lot of similarities to Judy. Sells Mary Kay, and a member of DAR, and a whole bunch of things my friend Judy is. But not from Florida as Judy is. Someone I was talking to, all right, okay, let's see, I'm going to move that wing and put it up here. Because I want to get the tail on here. How's this? Let's look okay. I don't know if Melissa's still here or not. I think this is a standard dragon you see around College Park. I think. It's my Buddy Dyer dragon. Well, this one's a little slimmer. Anyway, I was gonna. Hold on, let me get this. I'm gonna take the pencil out. I just knocked something over. But I gotta do the speedy thing. I've got to do that. I've got my water here. Got my brushes. My brushes I have here are a little thinner. Here, let's quickly grab this open. What's it doing? I'll see if I can brush. And sorry, I just realized the part what I need is with me. Oh. Back here. There you go. Just a second here. These were here. This over there. I got wires all over the place for some reason. Whoops. Oh, I went to Aldi. I've corrected a number of people, including my friend Tom Hockman. That is Aldi without an S. Aldi. And they had Frosty in a glass. These are just so much better. Don't forget his back foot. Yeah, I was thinking about that. Back foot. Okay, quick. One thing I could do to speed things up is have this paint ready. I'm trying to get a tabaret over here so I can get the tabaret have everything on it, kind of like I had when I was in Palm Bay. Just space is a bit of an issue. Fred? Why Fred? It's breakfast at Tiffany's. Fred. Melissa invoking her Truman Capote side. Well, you know. It was easier to imitate Truman Capote when he was alive and people knew who he was. Is. You know, I really would like to see some proof that Truman Capote actually died. You read some of his writings, he died on some pages, I'll tell you. In Cold Blood, read it, and after you just, that's a rough book to read. I've been reading through the 87th Precinct by Ed McBain, and I'm into his later books, and they have gotten really dark. What a change. And very long. I really don't care for them. I have a little trouble getting through them. I am having trouble getting through them. He started the series in 1956 and finished when he died around 2005. And his 56 ones were crackerjack smart, so well done. And then by the mid 80s, he started making them longer and a lot of mess in them. Doesn't need to be in there. Can't see what I'm doing here. Or something like that. So, Elaine, we were talking about your next collection of poetry. Should we shoot for a goal of December? Maybe seeing one? You like this color, huh? I'm trying to make these brighter. I was having problems painting the others because I didn't have a solid line. It's just I need it. I've been working through such and so for so long. I was going to use colored pencil, but I've got to do these faster. They've got to be done quick. But it's going to take a bit for me to get used to it. That's the only thing. Getting used to painting quick again. I'm taking too long right now. I think you should try it. And me too. I'm working. I'd say I did so little. What's happening because of the work thing, I'm pooping out during the week and I'm just exhausted when I get done with the day and I just can't do anything. Okay, I need to come back the other way. Hold on. I wish I didn't get so tired. It's this whole age thing. You guys just wait till you get to be my age. I know exactly what I'm talking about. I was saying this to Charles yesterday, who's 90. I said, you wait till you get to be my age. Okay, now I want to get in here. Oh, saying no. Ooh, I forgot about it. Yeah, I really am. I did get some supplements for that Prime thing too. Let's see if those actually. Started taking one yesterday. I'm actually feeling better. Well, I can't imagine it's that easy, but maybe it is. It's filling in some gaps my body ain't getting. Okay, hold on. Ooh, let's see. Yeah, aging is. I was saying this to Bloom, and the same goes for. I've said this to Tabitha before. Now's the time. Dig in, take advantage of your age, because as you get older, it gets more and more impossible to do some things. I think Melissa would like Bloom's style. I really like that Popeye. I've seen a lot of cartoon dresses and shirts and things, but that Popeye one was particularly good. Because at National Cartoon Society, when we had our Reuben weekend, people would dress up and stuff like that. But usually it featured one character or various poses of a character, and or even if it had comic stuff, it'd be kind of. No, I like how that was done. I hope they didn't swipe it. I hope they paid the royalty for it, but I doubt it. So easy just to steal that stuff now. I'm not saying Bloom did that. I don't know where Bloom bought that dress. That's a good question, actually. Not that I'm going to get the dress, but I determined that was I'm pretty certain that's a collection of not Bud Sagendorf. It's the originator, Seagar's Popeye. No, you're. Oh, Melissa, I'm much older than you think. Yeah, I failed 30 or 40 grades before I got to Edgewater. And that's on the low side. Yeah, after my stint at Harvard, and after I failed those, they said you're going back to high school. Thus, my dream of becoming a brain surgeon, world renowned, ended. But that doesn't mean I don't do it. So if any of y'all want some brain surgery, let me know. We can meet over at Culver's. I've got some. Where are my? I got a pair of scissors. Only take a few minutes. I was really upset when I got back to Edgewater High School. They didn't have any brain surgery classes. And they still don't, apparently. What does the world come to? Okay. I'm just gonna add a little bit more here than I'm gonna say. One thing that DK, Dennis Kaminsky, and I spoke about was this whole sky issue I still have a problem with. So and I've got this wonderful paint. Well, I had it. Where would it go? I may have accidentally drunk it. Iridescent, as it is. So I'll probably add some of that to this too. Maybe I should try to finish up. There's a goal to get me to stop tomorrow, is to make a goal to do a live tomorrow night. And the only way I could possibly do that is to not work so much and basically have to finish this entirely. That's a good idea. Maybe I'll do that. Oh, the tail. Ice pick. Please. I'm a professional. Yes. Hold on just a second. Because make sure I get this. How's that? I hope that's okay. Hold on. Let me just. I was going to go up here and I forgot. Why did I look over there? Don't look. If I can get these done in 10 or 15 minutes, then I'm more justified for having cheap prices for them. That's why I want to get this done before 9. So I still got to work on the speed, but I'm getting there. I'm getting there. What do you think? What I want to do is get that. So I want the white on there. Now I still got to get the light blue sky or something. Now the argument being, should I put it? All right, what do you think? Put a light blue sky on him? There's one other thing I need to do. I'm taking my Greg Hildebrandt knowledge here for this. Then I'm going to go back over this with that's what I went to Pop-Tart for, was to get some pens. Dennis Kaminsky didn't have any. I'm going to take some of the pens, gray, not black, and go back over this. I gotta stop here. Oh, one of the things, yeah, I'm getting going ahead and investing in a new laptop because I can't upload anything here. I think it's because the computer's just a little too old and slow. So I took advantage of the Prime thing, getting a laptop. So I'm going to use this for all my Photoshop, but I'm going to use that for my computer stuff. And so hopefully I can upload videos like I used to. I can't do that anymore. So I'll do this live tomorrow evening at 7. I'll do it earlier because I got to get to bed. I'm supposed to be my friend Karen Jaroka is speaking at a meeting tomorrow night. I really like to go, but it's not going to let out till 8. And I could actually get this done there at the meeting. Maybe I will go to that meeting. Karen's with Heritage, not Heritage Auctions. Hold on, one last thing. Let me just. Oh, good night, Melissa. And if Lane, you're still here, maybe we'll try to meet Tuesday. I'm not sure how I should do that, or I've got to come in the next week because I got to pick stuff up over at the PO box. And because of where I'm living, I've got to go. I've got to come. If I'm in College Park and I'm going up toward Altamont, then I have to kind of go up that way because I live north. I'm more east than I was before. There we go. See, I think that's working okay. Because the laptop is going to the P.O. box. It's supposed to be there Tuesday, so I hope it's there. If it's not, I really should try to pick it up. I won't sit there too long. I've already got one thing sitting there. I would like to share that with Tabitha. It's a comic book thing, and not Dahlia Bloom. I kind of see how that stuff works. And I was going to give Tabitha some help with Sonic the Hedgehog, or a variation thereof. How's that look? Or whoever's here, and please, if you would, click the thumbs up. If you of course, if you don't like it, you can click the thumbs down. I believe in democracy. Yeah, maybe I will go to that meeting because Karen and her husband live over in Tampa. I pretty much only see her during the homeschool convention. She's going to be at this meeting, driving all the way down here. I'm going to be in the area, so it just means it's going to be a little later than I'd like it to be. Just have to leave there pretty quick. But I could finish this up over there if I get there early enough. What do you think? Oh, thank you, Andrew. I thought you'd left. What would be rude? Oh, if I left? No. Not saying hello to Karen. Yeah, she's good. She and I started organization together at the same time in different parts of Florida. We're one of the few left of all of that. It's pretty much otherwise done. Here's something when you're doing painting is make sure you don't leave any white areas unless you're going to leave a lot of white areas because it's distracting. Make sure you cover them. So I might leave those little spiky things. The rest of it to be covered. Yeah, okay. Just got to do this thing. Oops. Oh, thumbs down is rude. Well, if you don't like it, that's fine. I'm sure some folks look at this and say, this is awful. How dare you? Even doing these lives, it is exhausting to me. It really is. I get tired doing these. Okay. Okay. Hopefully that wing stands out. As I say, one of the great ways to see how this is going is looking at the screen for me and seeing where I am. So the idea is to put these all up for sale. I'm going to really try and make them cheap. Encourage me myself to work faster like I used to. I'm going to go back over this with a colored pencil probably, or a brown. Lost that out. Whoops, there it goes. Oh, I've got a pencil for. Oh boy, there we go. Anyway, here's the brown. Maybe I will just go ahead and wrap this up. And the thought is, I was hoping to get a whole ton of these done here by August, but that doesn't look like it's going to happen. How do you like this brown line? Try not to make it quite as hard as the... Still define it. What do you think about the brown line? This is a pen I got from Pop Smart, or whatever it is. Now, the thing is, I need to get the comic book done because this doesn't make any sense why I'm doing this without that. And that's the one thing I'm not getting to. Spend more time doing these. Though last week after the class, I did go out, as I said before, I've done live, to your bookseller and picked up a wonderful 4-volume set of The History of Florida by W.T. Cash. Just checking my history of the late 1600s. And the problem is there's just not a lot that happened here. It's a bad time around here. Well, not bad. It was a quiet time. Spanish were giving up on Florida, realized, wow, we really screwed up. We really screwed up here. We need to get rid of this thing. And the British were trying to get their mitts on things. St. Augustine was a dastardly mess. So the Spanish were trying to decide that their last gasp was to try to build what later became the Castillo de San Marcos or Fort Marion. So that was their answer to problems. And that didn't start till 1672. So I'll probably include that somewhere along the line. I'm specifically interested in Tabitha, well, now Bloom too, since she's into that. Though I would say what Bloom's doing is not, I would not call what she's doing manga. As I said to her, she's doing something that's more like something you find in Europe. Tabitha's doing more manga-ish. Well-drawn manga-ish. Which is the only thing here. So I don't know if that works or not. So okay, that got us 9. Ooh, that's late. Who's C? C? 7 C's. Great restaurant, Miami. Well, maybe I'll just leave it just this simple. Oh, I need to sign it. It's the only thing. Well, maybe I won't add any blue. Just leave it just like that. What do you think? What say you? Oh, I might add that iridescent stuff. Maybe I should. Maybe I just leave it like it is. I've got to speed these up. I got to get into a rhythm of production. Well, so this looks good. I just want to put black line all over this. It's so hard to. This is actually a brush on this side. I just want to do that. Yeah, there. That now, so that head's coming out a lot more. Yeah, now standing out more. Okay. I may leave that just as it is. Toothless dragon. Yeah, I know, that's the thing. Calling time, but I think that looks better. What's more in front of you is more behind you. All right, I'll quit here. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for being a part of things. I should be back here on YouTube. I might change my mind tomorrow and come on live here. But I think I'm going to go to that meeting, and I can also sit in the back corner and get some other work done, and then also say hello to my friends. Thank you for being here. Have a great night. I should be back here next Sunday, 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock. And then Elaine, Tabitha, Cheryl, and may see y'all on Tuesday. Y'all have a good night. Good night.